So today's topic is MS SQL Server. Anyone have idea? What is a server? What is SQL Server? What is SQL?
SQL is a language
Okay.
to
SQL is
write
a
down
database
something,
server.
and server like how to write the server.
How to write the server? No.
Like server like a storage, so server language basically.
No. No. Totally.
No,
What
I
is the
don't have
server?
any.
Don't have any idea. What is the server?
But
What is the client?
Server
Client
is the
server
main
architect.
foundation, and client is the server agent
Server is a machine that serves
machine.
the request, right?
Yes,
and we are the
Hardware
client,
that
right?
serves the request, and client who requests the service from the server.
Service.
There's the
like
client
user.
server
Yes,
architect, like user. So SQL is a language that installed in the SQL server, and whenever we request something, it processes it and give us to the answer. So we're going to learn our agenda is what is SQL server, how to download and install SQL Server Management Studio that used for writing the SQL queries, SQL Server database, SQL Server data types, variables, the tables, primary key, foreign key, how to join the tables, two tables to fetch the data from the database, and if else condition statement, case statement. So basically like this if else and case statement is applicable to all language. If you know these things, like those are like basic conditional statements. In any language, you use the same logic, but the syntax of writing is will be different. Okay, any question here? So what is a SQL Server? SQL Server is a relational database management system, which is called RDBMS, developed by the Microsoft, and it is primarily designed and developed to compete with MySQL and Oracle database. So there is another database called Oracle database, which is developed by the Oracle system INC. There are like bigger databases like Informatics, Cognos, all these things. Those are like bigger than these databases. So this supports NC-SQL, which is standard SQL as structured query language. And however, SQL Server comes with its own implementation of the SQL language, TSQL. What is it called? Transact SQL. This is the language name of the SQL Server. They use TSQL. TSQL is a Microsoft proprietary language known as Transact SQL, and it provides further capability of declaring variables, accepting handling, stored procedure, etc. And SQL Server Management is the main interface tool for SQL Server to writing the SQL queries and supports both 32-bit and 64-bit environment. So this is basically a SQL Server, what it does and what it is. And there are like several editions with the SQL Server. So I mean, you can use any different edition based on your needs. SQL Server Enterprise, it is used in high-end, large-scale, and mission-critical business, and it provides high-end security, advanced, and machine learning. So this enterprise-level server used by the big corporation, because these are the paid license. You have to pay for these things. You have a SQL Server Standard, which is suitable for mid-tier application and data maps, and it includes basic reporting analytics. You have also SQL Server Web. It is designed for low total cost of ownership options for web hosters. Whoever doing the web hosting, they basically use the SQL Server web server. It provides scalability and affordability and manageability capabilities for small and large scale web properties. And you have also SQL Server Developer. It is like Enterprise Edition for non-production environment. So Enterprise is basically you can do like production environment, but SQL Server Developer this is for non-production environment, but it gives you the same capabilities the SQL Enterprise Server have. It is mainly used for build, test, and demo it. So basically, we'll be using SQL Server developer for our test environment, build another and then demo the things. SQL Server Express, it is for small scale applications and it's free to use. So these like free editions. It doesn't have that much capability like developer enterprise level or standard, but it gives you to work around and it's free for use. Any question? Hasib, Jafar?
Yeah, are we going to use the free version to practice?
We're going to use the SQL Server developer version, which is for use for test and demo and build.
So do we need to install anything now?
Yes, we need to install the SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio.
Okay.
And we'll install that and we'll do the practical exercise, how to write these queries and how to get the queries for and fetch the data from the data table. SQL
Okay.
Server is a bigger platform, but we are going to part of that, which is writing the SQL queries, not the server management. Any question? The SQL Server architecture, how the SQL Server works. What is the architecture? As we said, like this is a client server architecture, means like you have a client and you have a server where client requires the services and server process the request and provide the answer or result information. This is called the client server architecture. The client is an application that sends requests to the MSQL server installed on a given machine, and the server is capable of processing input data as requested. Finally, respond with the process output data as a result. So here it's saying like, Mom, I need a cup of coffee. This is our client, and then sure, Tom preparing and will be hot serving next 10 minutes. This is server like saying, responding that it will take 10 minutes to process your tea and provide you back. So this is how it works. There are like several key components and services of the SQL servers, like database engine. That is one of the major component of the SQL server because all the data are installed in this database engines, and whenever you query it, these database engines get the data, fetch the data from the database and provide you. This component handles storage, rapid transaction processing, and securing data. In SQL Server, this service starts, stops, pauses, and continues to an instances of MySQL Server, excluding name is SQL Server AEX. So SQL Server, this actually you start your services, it can stop your services or pause your services. So whenever you're requesting, the SQL Server starts and send the request to the server. SQL Server agent, it performs the role of the task scheduler and it can be triggered by an event or as a demand. Executable name is SQL agent exe. This is the executable name, file name. There is an agent like your client. Whenever you're sending the request through SQL Server agent, it goes to the SQL Server. SQL Server send the request to the database engine. It fetches the data, come back to the server, and then it's provided to the client agent again. And this agent will provide to the client. SQL Server browser listen to the incoming request and connects to the desired SQL Server instance. So whenever someone's sending the request, this SQL Server browser listen like what kind of request it is coming. So it's sometimes called listener. It listens the requested and it sends this request to the appropriate server. Maybe the latent server installed. So it will take the request and it will send that request to maybe server 2 because that is related to that server. So it's like a kind of a route designation. It designates the route and server where it will go. SQL Server full text search. This lets user running full text queries against character data in SQL table and the executable name is fdlauncher.exe. This is for if you are writing the queries and fetching the data from the database, this is used to get that queries run. SQL Server VSS Writer, this allows backup and restoration of data files when the SQL Server is not running executable name. So through the SQL Server VSS Writer, you can take the backup and restore the data in the different database server. SQL Server Analysis Service, it is SaaS. It's provide data analytics, data mining, and machine learning capabilities. And SQL Server is integrated with R and Python language for advanced analytics. So the R and Python, these are like kind of analytics languages through which you can combine the SQL Server for data mining or machine learning capabilities. The executable name is MSMDSRVEXC. SQL Server reporting services. This is basically to provide the reports and capabilities, decision-making capabilities. It includes integration with the Hadoop. Hadoop is a database for big data. You ever heard the big data?
Yes.
Yes. So the Hadoop we use for the big data. Big data is like where you have more capabilities than these servers like SQL or Oracle. And big data can be unstructured. In SQL or Oracle, it is all a structured data. But Hadoop, they can also process the unstructured data. Unstructured data means like the data is not in a right sequence, right format, but still it can process. But Oracle or SQL cannot process the unstructured data. SQL Server Integration Services, this provides extract, transformation, and load capabilities of different type of data from one source to another. It can be viewed as a converting raw information into useful information. The executable name is MSDTS Server EXE. So those are like executable names of each of the key components of the SQL services of the SQL Server. And this provides different services whenever we are writing a query and trying to fetch the data from the database server and get the information from the database. So all these service will be enabled when you install the SQL Server. Any questions?
Can you just like give us like the perspective of like what we are gonna do in the SQL Server?
These are like you don't need to do anything with these things. These are just to know like which services do what.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to do anything else, anything on these key components. Whenever you install the server, it will be installed within that. Just giving you like idea like what are the things does for what. I'm just stopping minutes. Give me problem. So anyone any other question? So as we have like components, there are also server instances. So this SQL Server allows you to run multiple services at a go, with each service having separate logging, ports, database, etc. And there are divided into two primary categories, which is like primary instances and name instances. So you can see the picture here, SQL Server instance of the SQL Server. We have like system databases where you have a login, the modules, the master database, temp database, and also you have a user database where you have schemas, users. We have like two of them, so those are like separate login system both they have. And name is there. So primary instances is where you should have these instances installed. And name instances, their name, how the name will be provided. Then SQL Server instances, the following advantage of the server instances. Why we have these instances installed with that? Because there are some advantages with these SQL Server instances, like for installation of different version of one machine. Because if you don't have a name instances, then you cannot install different version of the SQL Server in one machine because it will be like all mixed up. So by name instances and primary instances, we can identify that this is this version of the database within a one system. It also a cost reduction. It's also maintenance of the development production test environment separately. You can maybe like you install two database server, one for the test environment, one is for the production environment. So the maintenance will be easier, and you can separately maintain both of them. It also reduces the temporary database problem and separating security privileges and maintaining a standard standby server. So you can use one of the standby server in case of the primary server fails. The secondary server will pick up the request and provide the services. So the service will not be interrupted. Clear? Any question? Holly? Raha?
Nah, that's okay. We need to
Yeah.
review this thing again for ourselves.
Therefore, Hasib?
That's fine.
Not now. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
whenever we do, we will understand.
yeah, these are like, I mean, these parts like components, instances, you don't need to memorize this thing, just let you know like how it works, what are the things is there. But you need to know how to write the queries and fetch the data from the database. But if they never ask like, what is the primary instance, what is the name instance, you should be able to answer that question. That's why I'm doing all these things. So there is like a SQL server. We saw the what is the SQL server, what are the components of the SQL server, what are the architecture of the SQL servers, right? Toha, what is the language call used in the SQL server?
Sorry,
What is the language name called we use in the SQL server? What is the name, language name?
query language, server and query language, SQL.
Only?
Mm.
Just now I did it, right? Hasib?
The language.
Standard query language like this, SQL.
Is TSQL, transact SQL.
Oh,
Oh,
Transact
transact SQL.
SQL. That's the language used in the SQL server. It's called TSQL. Transact SQL.
TS.
So what you guys are following? Just now like 10 minutes, right? I did it.
like a lot of information and because we're not used to it. You have to read it
Okay,
again.
so yeah. So what is the database? Polly? Tell from your let's just general knowledge. You don't need to tell like exactly what is the database. We went through just now. I told you many things, right? What is the database and
It's like data is like provide like the information. I don't know the database.
Hasib?
Database like a place where like all the subjects and everything is stored, kind of like that.
Yeah, the database is the placeholder where all the data, all the information is stored.
Okay,
Yeah.
status.
And through the database engine, it provides the data, information we request for.
Like lot
The
of data
storage.
work together.
Yeah. So it's a hardware or it's a machine where all the data or information is stored. There's a database.
Yes.
Okay, it's the storage of the data.
So data is base is a collection of objects such as table, view, store procedure, trigger, function, etc. Those are the database in SQL. It can have like tables, different tables, different name, the views, the store procedures, the triggers, the functions. It can have a system build functions, or you can have a user defined function. Consider with a few examples with real life, and we'll have we have a bookcase where books reside, right? So database is the same thing. It's a database data case where all the data are reside. The technical database store the data in well-organized manner for easy access and retrieval. And in SQL Server, there are two types of database. So basically, technical database are storing the data organized manner, like organized way. So whenever we try to get the data, it will retrieve. You can retrieve the data from the database. As I showed you, like there is a two type of database. One is a system database and one is a user database, right? There is a system database and there is a user database. These are the two instances of the databases.
So the system database created automatically when we
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like the primary instance?
System like you built on. When you install the already come.
The primary
No.
one?
No, primary. Yeah, it will have the primary instance name.
Okay.
Whenever you install the data, you give the database name. That is your primary instance.
Instance means like a feature, right? Or
The same means like the what I call the physical location.
okay.
You can have a logical location, you can have a physical location of the database or
The
any computer.
Okay.
You have a logical name, you have a physical name, right?
Mhm.
Physical name means where all the physically the hardware are connected or installed.
Virtual and
Logical is like a virtual kind of like where those names are connected with those hardware.
okay. Mhm. So the primary instance, can you go to the previous page, please? Yeah. So the primary instance and named instance. So the primary instance is all like the database, like the hard drives and the system where it's stored. Is it or
No. So here primary instance is like whenever you install the database, I can give the database name as ABC. This is
Okay.
my primary instance. Then I can create another database. It's EFG.
Okay.
That is my secondary instance.
And
So
which
I
one
can
is
have
named instance?
name instance is like there will be like a naming convention also. How the naming should be there. Whenever we do the naming, there will be naming convention the way you should write.
So for the primary instances, we put name, like example ABC, but naming named instance, like we don't have
We'll
to
come.
put any name.
No, we'll come on that point.
Okay.
It is a name of the computer naming instances, right? Where you specify the name during the installation.
That's primary instance or named instance?
There's a name instance.
Okay.
And primary instance is the database which is installed primarily when we install the server.
Okay.
So the client must connect, must specify whenever you're logging to the database site, you must specify your server name and instance name. Okay. So when you install the server, you will clearly understand like what is that.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to provide your name instance and primary server name both.
Okay. I guess it's gonna get clear when we are gonna do it actually. Yeah.
Okay, any more question there?
System database, user database.
So we'll have a two kind of databases. One is the system database, one is the user database. The system database are created automatically for you when you install the SQL Server. So this is installed, that is created when you install it, right? And they play a crucial role in the server, especially in ensuring that the database object runs correctly. For example, our SQL Server system database including master, MSDB, model, 10DB, or resources. Those are the name of the system databases. And user database is the created by the database user like you. Like you can use the database. So this system database is the primary instance when you create it.
And when we store something like a project of mine there, that is the like a
Your
name
secondary instance.
not name instance.
No,
Oh, okay.
there's a secondary
Okay.
database. So we have granted access to the create databases. So if you have the admin permission, you can create the database. If you don't have that, then you cannot create the database. So there are certain rules when you create a database, and you need to follow these rules. What are the rules? First, we need to know the basic rules for creating a new database, which is the database names must be unique within an instance of the SQL Server. The instance is nothing but a logical name of the SQL servers. So whenever you're creating the database, you should have the unique name. You cannot create ABC, two database within a one SQL Server. So you should have the unique name for each of the database. The database name can be maximum of 128 character. You cannot exit more than 128 character. And the create database statement must run in an auto commit mode. Means
What
like
does
whenever you're creating the database, you need to commit. Commit means like giving the permission. The system is that you want to do these things. You want to execute this statement.
and it's going to happen automatically. Okay.
Yeah. So it's whenever you install, it's on automatic commit mode, so that whenever you write a query and enter it, it will fetch the data from the database. You don't need to provide the commit. In Oracle, sometimes we do the commit. So in Oracle, when you write the commit, it will pull your previous queries. So there are two ways to create database in SQL Server. One is SQL Server Management Studio. One is the TransSQL.
So for SQL, we don't have to put the previous queries. Just gonna.
No, you don't need to put the query. You just write your queries and it will automatically, because the commit mode will be automatic.
Okay.
So one is SQL Server Management Studio, through which you can execute your queries. Another one is you can do from the manually from the like a command prompt. You can do that also. If you're using like SQL Server Management Studio, that are kind of a
like there's an environment needed.
Object oriented.
Okay.
You can see the things, the trees, the objects, how the things are installed, and what are the things you're writing. And another one is you can do in a DOS mode, comment, writing the SQL queries and do all the things. So here you cannot, in the TransSQL, in this mode, you cannot see the objects. So this is like a kind of like GUI, like graphical user interface base, where you can see all the things you're doing. You can see the table creation, you can see the tables, fields and row and columns, all these things. But here you have to write plain in like a DOS. So you don't see actually the objects unless it's created. Clear? So these are the two ways you can create the database in SQL Server. Now, how to create a database in SQL Server Management Studio? To create SQL Server Management Studio, we use the following commands like create, alter, drop, delete, restore. These are the commands that use to create the database in SQL Server. Create means we are creating a new database in SQL Server. Whenever you're trying to create a new database, you can use the create command. Alter, you can use the renaming databases or changing the file location within the SQL Server. Drop means deleting the entire information but not the table structure. So you have a table of 3 column, 5 rows maybe, right? And you have all the information in the table. But when you're using drop command, the structure of the table like 5 row and 4 columns will not be deleted, but information within the table will be deleted. The structure is there, still there. It's not deleted from your system. But when you're using delete command, it will delete whole thing, your structure and information together. Clear? Delete and drop.
Yes.
And restore is to back up your database in SQL Server. So whenever you backed up any database from the SQL Server, you can restore in another machine by restore command. So we'll see all these commands in action. So whenever we are doing hands-on exercise. Okay, right now,
I have a
let's give
question.
you an idea. Yeah.
So there are two ways to create database. Like so, we who decide, or it depends on the database we will create.
So you don't create the database. Database will be created from the by the DBA, database administrator. You just need to run the queries against the databases. You need to know the name of the tables and run the queries, whatever data you want to get.
But whoever does the database, so they will decide, or it will depend on the project or the environment.
Based on the project, the database team will decide how the
Okay.
table will be there, what kind of tables will be created, what are the name instance will be there, what are the information within the tables will be there. So they have like separate team for that. It's a huge thing.
Okay.
And test team doesn't create all these things. They just need the data. Because whenever you need the test data, where it come from? It come from the database. If there is enough there, then you cannot run your test. Because it's take the information, like I said, like upstream and go down to the downstream. Means like it goes to a database server until to fetch the data. And then they take the data and follow from one system to another system. Any more questions? So you can have table 1, 2, 3 until n number of table means like we call it n number because we don't know how many tables. So we call n number table. You can have different views until n number. You can have store procedure until n procedure. So there will be this store procedure are like system defined procedures.
So there can be multiple procedure to store.
Yes, there will be many store procedures you can
Is
get
it going
these
to be user
procedures and
defined or the
run it.
system?
So there
Is
is
it
a
the-
system procedures, store procedure, but user also can define
Okay.
those procedures.
Okay.
Any questions? Taha?
No, it's okay.
Therefore,
No.
so what is its views? You know the table, right? Table are the informational
Data
structure
chart.
information system where you can have a rows and columns, right?
Yeah, like data chart.
Yes. What is the views then?
After
When
you
you make
So,
another new chart,
not chart, it's data table, not chart.
yeah, data table.
So views are also a table.
Yes.
The views it has a rows and columns like a real table. but it's a virtual table.
Yes.
This is the table, actual table is a physical table, which is actual, the structure and information are there, right? But virtual table is not that actual table like a SQL Server table. It doesn't, the structure is not physically there, but virtually you can see that. So you can
So,
create the views, selecting the
so,
fields from one or more tables.
so views are defined by the users, or is like
Yes,
Yes, user.
your user can define it, create it. So you can like create the views like from maybe let's say you have a 100 tables. I need some information from
okay, got it.
5
Like,
tables, right? I can take the information from 5 table and create a view for myself to see it. What are the information there?
it's almost like in my job in SharePoint, we have a like a Excel sheet where we have all the information, but different department can fetch the information they need from for their
No,
department.
it's not. No, it's not that. It is a
No.
table, but it doesn't have any physical structure in the database.
Okay.
When
Yes.
you drop the view or drop the view, it will be deleted fully.
Yes, like the when like the different reports are generated for the different department, but if we delete it from the main data main sheet, they're not gonna see anything.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Mhm.
Holly, you guys, any
I think
doubt?
I'm
Table
okay.
and views?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just waiting for to do the real thing, so then confusion will be.
No, but did you understand the difference between the view and table? What is the view and what is the table?
No, I didn't understand like what is the virtual like table. What did that means?
So, as I said, like there is a let's say there is a 3 rows and 3 columns, right? You have a student ID, name, and address, right?
Mhm.
There is also another table, like employee name, employee ID, employee department, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But I want to see only name and address from both tables. So those 2 tables are my table, physical table, right? Which is in SQL.
Yeah.
But another table I'm creating as a, which is not in there, but I'm trying to create it to see the information I need from both tables. So I created a view name A, and I want to see only name and address from both tables, no other informations.
So creating the third table.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, this is a third table. It's a new table, new view, not table. We're not creating table. It's a view, which is a kind of a table, but it's virtual. It doesn't have any physical.
So
It's
it's
like kind
basically
of like that you have a Windows installed in your machine, right? And you create a virtual box where you can install the other systems, which is called virtual machine.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Like
that.
like simple example, like we are see everybody, the virtual we can see. We don't see any physically. Like in
Yes,
our
like
Zoom
we are
class.
doing like Zoom, right?
Like
We are
same
seeing
thing, yeah.
virtually.
Okay.
Physically, we are not there.
No.
Yeah. We see virtually, like
Physically,
same
you
one.
are in your place, I am in my place, but we can still connect it virtually.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm
Thank you.
creating a third table,
Mhm.
which is a table name A, and I don't want to see all the
Inform.
3 and 2, 5 informations. I just want to see name and address from both tables. There is my view.
Okay.
Can we explain it like this? Like, I have a database where I have name, customer name, phone number, and like the car they purchased, the amount. And the customer service department just want to know the name and phone number. So there is another table created, but they can see the name and the phone number, but it's actually not there. It's in the main
Yeah,
table.
it is in the main table.
But
Yes.
they're creating a table for view only. So
Yes, but whenever you using drop command to delete that view, it will
Mhm.
delete it fully.
Okay.
Whereas if you're using the drop command for your table, the information deleted, but the structure still be there.
So the main
Yeah.
where we stored it, it's going to be there, or just a
Yeah,
table
yeah.
format.
It's gonna take like to create one table. It took like 2 MB of space in your memory, right? Hard disk.
Mhm.
When you use the drop, the information gone, but it still is blocking that memory because the table structure is there.
Okay. So
But when you are creating view, it took maybe 1 MB, but when you're dropping, it's totally gone. So the 1 MB is released to the memory. There is no memory block for that.
to create view, it's gonna so if we delete a view table, it's gonna free up some memories.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, there is no information. There is no structure, right? It's a virtual. It's not physical. So there is no structure
Okay.
installed in the system. So your memory is also free.
Okay. Mhm.
But if you delete, it's going to delete all the things. Like even the
Including
table
the
will be deleted from the
original table is gonna be also
original table, and it will also free the delete memories from the or space from the memory. But if you're using drop command for table, it's not going to free up the memory. It's going to hold up the memory because structure is there. Information deleted from the structure. And for view, there is no structure. So if you use the drop command, it's going to delete all things.
Okay.
It's just like to see.
Okay.
Mhm.
There is not actual. You just want to see. That's called view, right? View the thing.
Yes.
Just want to view it. That's it. Any more questions?
So the comments are for we can use the comments for the table and the views for both, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Therefore,
No question.
sure.
Yeah.
Did you got clarification like tables and views? What
Yeah.
is the table? What is the views?
Yeah, table is the physical you created, and the views are virtual. You know.
Yes. Okay. So what is the data?
The information we put.
Hmm?
The information we use in the table.
Okay. So what is the data?
Yeah, seems like the
What seems
information,
like? Tell me what is the data?
or we used to make a table.
Hasif?
Data is like all the information that we like the character symbols and numbers that we store in we use for information purpose.
Therefore, what is the data?
The same thing. You put all the information in the column to execute the inform. I don't know how to explain.
So generally, what is the data? Data is the kind of information that is useful, or it's a resource that can be used by us, right? It can be stored
Yes.
in many different places in many different ways, many different types. So that's where the data types comes. So data is information. It can be saved or stored in many different types. That there are many different types of data is there, like You go for the hospital, the data is like a different type. If you go to the fire service, the data types will be different ways installed, right? It's not going to say. So the type will be different for data based on the
Organization.
different scenarios, organizations, or departments,
For the purpose, yeah. Like
or the purpose
yeah.
of how you want to use it. So the database in SQL Server is defined as a type of data that any column or variable can store. It is a type of data that an object holds, like integer, character, string, etc. Right? Numeric, varchar. Those are the type of the data. While creating any table or variables, in addition to specifying the name, you also set the type of data it will store. So if you're creating a table, one table with 2 rows and 3 columns, you're writing a user ID. What kind of data you'll be using? You're writing a student name or user name. What kind of data will be there? You're having like address. What kind of data will be there? So you have to define those type also whenever you create a table. It's not just you just create a table, but you
So
need to
we have
define
to
what the data
define.
type.
Sorry to interrupt. So we have to define the type of data we are putting in before we write down the.
Yes.
So if it's like a name, so it's
When
alphabetical.
you are creating a table like student name,
Mhm.
and you need to define what kind of data type will be for that student name.
So if we put like numbers in a name, it's not going to take it.
It's going to take only number.
No, I mean
But is
we
it logical to write one student name as a 01534? No.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's not going to take it, right? Or is it
It's
going
going to take it. It will not take any other type of data except that number, because we define as integer. You
Oh
cannot
no,
put ABCD.
oh no, I was saying like we defined it as alphabetical, but we put mistakenly we put like number, so it's not going to take that number, right? If it's alphabetical.
No.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the reason for verifying it before we started. Okay.
So like student ID, you can create a maybe like integer, right? Where you can
Yes.
provide the type.
Mhm.
Or you can create a string, right?
Yeah, string is
Where you can put the text, alphabets, right?
yes.
So that way, like you have a character, you have a varchar, v character, all these things will go later. Whatever.
Integer characters.
So this is the data type in SQL Server that is defined to write the create the data table and store it. So when you create the data table, you have to define the what kind of data type also will be used for the table information. How do you use the MS SQL data type? You need to define in advance the type of data or a column or variable can store, and determine data types also restrict the user from entering any unexpected or invalid data. So for this reason, we define that so that user cannot enter any unexpected or invalid data. Because if we don't restrict or you don't define the data, I can write the integer in my student name, right? And store the data. But whenever I'm testing or trying to retrieve the data, I'm trying to give like a toha, but I'm not getting any answer, right?
Yes.
Because when I created data, I didn't restrict anything and I put something else and I'm trying to fetch something else. You can make efficient use of memory by assigning an appropriate data type or to variable or column, which will allocate only the required amount of system memory for the respective column data, right? Also, another reason is like using the memory in an efficient way. So if you use the data type, it will hold the memories only that much needed for the data type. It will not hold more than that memory. So your memory will be free to use your system. If you don't define it, the system will define itself. Maybe like we need 1 megabyte of memory for the data type tables. But maybe if we don't define it, the system maybe only going to hold 5 megabyte for that table. Because it doesn't know what kind of data type will be putting. So there's
What
another reason. Was that?
what if we define the size and it's smaller than what is needed?
Whenever you're defining the data type, it has a attach the size of the memory it required already in the system. So it will hold that memories. You don't need to define it.
Oh, okay. It's gonna do automatically. Okay.
Yes. MS SQL offers a broad category of basic data types in SQL as per user needs like data, binary, image, etc. So these are the different type of data also you can use. Like you can use images, you can use the binaries, or you can date. Those are also type of data you can use it. That is another feature for SQL data types. Any question? Data type and how you can use the data type. So why we use the data type?
Multiple reasons. So that the user would, I mean, by mistakenly doesn't put the wrong data in there, like in the name, they don't put like numbers in it. And the second also to define it so that it doesn't.
Okay, Polly, what is another reason?
Like
Why
to
we
separate
use data type?
the rows, like to identify the row, right?
No.
Organized the data.
Yeah, you can say organize the data.
Okay.
What's the other thing?
Work easily, proficiency.
Jafar?
No, right, no idea.
What's the other major thing I told you guys?
Space.
The memory, the space, right? Use of
Yes.
memory. Come on, focus. I just told you guys 1 minute before. Just 1 minute before, you guys cannot answer that.
Yes. We can make efficiency and memory of assign the approve. Great.
So let's make a simple example like sign up page, right? You can see here there is sign up page on the left, right side, the first name, last name, contract name, right? For a web application. And there are 3 inputs, fields, right? First name, last name, and contact number. So here we should note that the real time, the first name or last name will always be alphabetic, right? As I said, like we use this data type as a what? The first name and last name as a alphabetic, right? So whenever I am putting 0, 1, 2, 3, it will not take it because I need to provide alphabet, maybe Toha or Paul or something like that, right? And contact will always be numeric. Then contact number will be numeric. So what is a numeric?
Any
Number.
number from 0, whatever.
That is an integer number.
It can be a string as well. And
So numeric is combine of the alphabet and the number. So I can write 388 Stephanie Road.
yeah.
So there you have a number and the alphabet.
Yes.
That is my numeric. So whenever providing the address, I should have the numeric type of data because I have number and both alphabet there.
So usually we say that alphanumeric. If the
You can say
column
alphanumeric,
is
that's fine.
Okay.
Like whenever you say contact number, only you're providing a
Numeric.
phone number.
Phone
It's
number.
phone number, right? You can say
That's the
numeric
integer.
where you're gonna put like 0, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. If you're providing both of them, you can call alphanumeric. You are providing alphabet and also numeric numbers. So from this picture, you can define that first name as a character and contact as an integer, right? Right? As I said, like when you're providing that phone number, it's a like integer 1029. And when you're providing the alphabet, that is called a character, A to Z.
Strings can have alphabet and numbers together, right? Or just numbers?
The strings are like yeah, you can have a number and text together.
Like a
one.
address 909 something.
Yes,
So that's
yes,
numbers and alphabet together. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So it means that the any application all fields have one or other data type, like numeric, alphabetic, date, all these things, and there are many other things, varchar, character, all these things. We'll see all these things later. Each of the definition.
How much storage SQL Server assigned for a string? Because a string can be very big, right?
Yes.
String can be big, it will be defined. You can define like how much you need it, or the system always have their own defined
Okay.
characters.
Mm.
So here you can see the data types available in the SQL Server, which is the exact numeric, approximate numeric, data and time, date and time, character string, Unicode character string, binary string, and other data types. Those are the character types of the.
Approximate numeric means it's like it can be have like decimals or something.
Yeah, we'll go here.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
go there. Okay, nature also.
That's 90%.
So exact numeric data type in SQL. It can have different data types, which is like bioint, int, small int, type, bit, decimal, numeric, money, small money. These are the data types within exact numeric data types. And you have a descriptions, the limits, and the memory it takes. But you don't need to remember all these things, just that how much memory it need, how much upper limit, what is the lower limit. You don't need to remember all these things. You just need to know what the data types and what is it is used for.
So basically 8 bytes is the highest, I think. Oh no, there is 17 bytes. Okay. Oh, not bits there. Okay. It can take 0 to 1.
So big int, it stores whole number in the range given like this much, right? It takes the 8-byte memory where integer int, it stores also whole number in the range given. So both you can int and big int like is more same, but the range is the different. And small int, same thing. Like these three is same category, right? And tiny int is like a limit is 0 and it take like less bytes than big int or small int because it's called tiny int. Bit is what? It is either 0 or 1, right? You can take 0 or 1 or null values. So 1 byte equal to 8 bit, right? So 1 byte of 8 bit column you can say, which that column is going to hold space of 1 byte. Decimal we used to for scale or fixed precision number, right? So they can
Yes.
divide that numbers with the decimal. Numeric used for scale and fixed precision number also, which is only 5 to 17. So decimal and numeric is the same memory is gonna take it. The money is used for monetary data, like currencies, different currencies. And small money used for the monetary data, same thing, the range is different. So if you're writing a SQL query, like declare data type underscore decimal 3,2 equal 2.31, right? Here what is saying? 3 is what? Decimal 3,2 within this bracket. What is the 3? This 3 is telling me, what is this 2 is telling me?
2 is the integer and the
3,
3 is the
2 equal 2.31. So that means my
3
range
upper
of the
2.
integer will be 3, only 3 number, not more than 3 number. I cannot put 20.31 because 2031 that total is 4 number. But here I said 3, not 4. And
okay.
comma 2 means my decimal point will be 2 digit.
2 digits.
So I have to put comma 31. I cannot put 23.1.
So when we define 3,2, we can't write like 10.331.
No, no,
Oh, okay.
because
Mhm.
the decimal should be the first 3 is the length of the character
Length of the
or
string.
integer or string you are defining.
Mhm, okay.
And then after 2 is there, what is the decimal point I'll be using?
Decimal points. Okay.
So
And
the
this says
number
3
could
to
be
2.
like, sorry, the number could be like first number 3. So 256.21, right?
No, 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 no. The whole number should be only 3 digit.
The whole number. Okay.
231. This is a 3 digit. I can 456. I can write it. I can 789 or 016. Any 3 digit you can write it because we
Okay.
define only length of the digit or character will be 3.
Okay.
It's not going to more than 3. And then we're going to come to 2. Means the decimal point will be after
Only 2 numbers.
2 number. After decimal, it will be only 2 numbers.
2 numbers.
So
Okay.
where I should put the decimal should be put here. So that I'll get 2 number. I cannot put 23.1 because the only one number there.
Okay.
And then you use print data type decimal. The output will be 2.31. So this is the a simple query. You can write it like that. So where you're declaring what is the data type will be. That's how we are declaring the data types. We just read it, right? The data type. By declare command, we are declaring what is the data type will be. So the user cannot put the numbers like 22.31 or 22.1 like that. It should have 3, 2 in this format. And then print command used to print the output of that query. Any question here in this query? How the query works?
Query over there, declare @data type underscore decimal. This is how we have to write it when we define it.
Yes, yes. This is the like declare command used to declaring what type of data you will be using.
Okay.
Through declare command, you will use that data type.
And the end print @data
And print
type.
command,
Mhm.
print command is used to print the data.
Okay.
So print what? I'm printing data type decimal, which I have declared this data type decimal, right? If I declare data type as a character, I should print data type underscore character.
Mhm.
Clear? Polly?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Gaffer?
So if there was the first number 4,2, so we could write down
Then it should have
42.
4 numbers.
Yeah, 42.31, right? Like we could use 4 digit.
So if you're using here 4,2, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you can have 22, 42, 52, whatever. 2 digit.
A
will
total
be there.
4
There will
digit.
be total will be 4 digit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then comma and then decimal point after 2. But if you're putting 4,1, your number length of number will be 4 number, and then this decimal should be going after 1.
Yeah,
From
after
the left,
decimal, there
right
should
side.
be only 1 digit.
Yeah, only 1 digit after decimal.
If you put 1, yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Yes.
second place, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're putting like 4,1, then the 4, your number should be 4 digit, not 3 digit. Right now it's 3 digit, it should be 4 digit. The
Yes.
decimal point should be after decimal, it should be only 1 number.
One.
So
1 number.
any number, whatever you're using. If you're using like 2245, that is our 4 length,
Digit.
right?
Yes.
And decimal will be 442.5 because after decimal I need only 1 number.
Can
So
it
my
be
decimal
like
will be after 4.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if I I define it, it's gonna be 4, 2, and
Yeah.
my number is like 1,000. There is no decimal point. It can also be there, right?
No, you have to put the
No.
decimal because you are declaring data type as a decimal
Uh-huh.
and you're doing as a decimal should be 2, then you cannot just put 1000.
So if it's like a 10, so it's going to be 10,00.
Yes, 10.00.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, 10.00. Yeah.
Not comma. Here I'm
Yeah.
providing
Yes.
comma to separate the length
Mhm.
and the
Yeah.
decimal point. But
Yeah.
here it will be decimal point.
Yeah. Dot. Yeah.
Any doubt?
No, so the first number giving us instruction like how many digit will be there, like the 3, 5, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it is the length of the digit.
The
How
length.
many digit?
Yes.
And 2 is the after
For
decimal
the
point,
decimal,
how
yeah,
many
after
number will be
decimal.
there?
Okay.
So if it is like 4, then you have to provide the decimal point, and then the number 4 number should be there after decimal.
Mhm.
Clear now.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have like 10 minutes break. We'll come at 11:20, 22, okay?
Okay.
Right. All right.
So approximate numeric data types in SQL is like floating, float, and this is used for floating precision number like minus 1.79e and this kind of numbers we'll be using. It
Those
depends
are
on the
the
value of n and is a 7-digit number. So here you see the float 24. Declare data type float. We are saying float is 24. And then we putting equal 22.1234.
Yes.
What is the output will be? Same. So what is the 24 float?
so 2 digits before the decimal and 4 digits after the decimal.
No, we didn't put the comma.
Okay.
Did we put the comma? I didn't put the comma.
No.
You have to put that 2.2, 4. Am I right?
Yeah,
2,
if we
4.
wanted then 2.4.
But that's decimal. That's not float, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a decimal there. But we are putting 24. Means like the number can be until 24 characters, 24 digit long.
Oh, okay.
You can have any number which is on 24.
And it doesn't matter that where is the decimal point is. It can be like 2 digits after the decimal. It can be 6 digits after the
Yeah.
decimal. Okay.
Yeah.
So the length of the float means length. Okay. So we can have 24 numbers over there, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it doesn't have any fixed decimal actually, right? This decimal, right? You're putting, it doesn't have any fixed, like here. Here, what we put?
Yeah.
2, right?
Yes.
So we are saying that the decimal should be fixed. After decimal, it should only 2.
2 numbers.
Yeah. But here, it doesn't have any decimal point fixed. You can put that 221.234. You can put it 2212.34. Anywhere you want to put the decimal, you can put it.
So it's going to go up to 4 or more than 4?
Last 4 digit is 4.
Where last is 4.
Like
Here,
what?
here I didn't separate it with comma. So why are you saying the 4 digit? The decimal point can be anywhere within this number. There is no fixed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't provide it 2, 4. Right?
Yeah, sorry, it says float. That means it can go any range.
Yes. I didn't provide 2, 4. If it is comma 4, then the decimal number should be 4. After decimal, it should be 4 digit. But here you should have saying instead of float, you should have saying decimal. Right?
Yeah.
But here I am saying float. So float 24 means I can have 1 to 24 number of length. And
After
decimal can be anywhere I can put I want.
So the number
Clear?
should be between 2 to 24 or 1 to 24.
0 to 24.
0 to 24 and decimal
This is
can be
24
anywhere.
together. There is no comma. So why you are saying 2 to 4? This is 24, a number, digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, like 24. This is 24. There is no comma, right?
Yeah.
Here you see there is a comma.
Mm-hmm.
That comma means it's separating this 3 and 2. It's not 32, it's 3 and 2.
Yeah, that's
Separated by
clear.
comma.
This side is, yeah, this side is clear.
So this 3 is the length of the number.
Total length of the
Yeah, and 2 is the number of after decimal point.
Yeah, after decimal, how many will be there?
Yeah, so here we're saying that data type is decimal. We're not saying float.
Okay.
But here we're saying data type is float.
Mm-hmm.
And float is 24. So 0 to 24, any number you can enter it.
Okay.
And decimal point you can put anywhere you want. Clear or not clear?
No, it's good.
Yes, one floating number is can change any place.
Change any place means?
Like you write down here 22.1234. Then we can do like a 2134. We can change that way. Floating number.
So
After decimal.
the decimal you can put anywhere you want.
Yes.
It's not fixed. I can put 221 dot decimal 234. I can put 2212.34. I can put 2212.3.4. Doesn't matter. As I want to put the decimal. Because decimal is not fixed that I need to have 4 number or 3 number after decimal. I can put anywhere. I can put
Yes.
2.21234. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hasim?
Yes.
Raffer?
Yes, it's clear. Yeah.
This is called float and the other one is decimal. Okay.
So for example, if I write 2.50 is considered as a decimal data type or float data type.
Decimal.
Decimal.
Why?
If you put 2.5, you indicate the point.
It can be both.
It can be both, yes.
Okay, let's select 2.49999. What is the number will be? Floated decimal.
Oh. Yeah, we can do both. Either it could be float or decimal.
If we declare it as a decimal to 6,4 is a decimal, and we can write float 24 or like 8 or whatever we want to define it. So it's gonna be same.
Yeah.
It can be like 2222 dot.
I put the database in the database 2.4999, and when I'm fetching the database, the result, I'm getting 2.50.
Oh, so you put the 2.44 on the
2.499999 in the table. But when I'm fetching the data, sometimes the result is giving me 2.50.
so
Yeah.
it's a
That line
decimal
now,
then,
the 2.50 is considered what? Decimal or float?
decimal.
It's going to be float, right?
Float is going to float. And why it's making 2.50? Because after 4, the 9
After
is
4 is 49999. It's omitting that 99
rounding up the
is
number.
rounding number to
Yeah, it's
2.50.
rounding the 5. Yep.
So it's going to be float. It's not going to be decimal.
What if my declare was data type decimal 4.2?
Where?
If the same example, let's say what was the number that you are giving us?
2.4999.
I'm saying that the
2.499.
data type float, I put it 2.4999. Now I am getting 2.50.
Oh, okay. You are putting 2.499 in the comment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's omitting, it's like normally
It's just
rounding it
rounding
because
up the number.
49999 means it's like 50, right? That's what we
Yeah, it's rounding
do
up the
normally in
number.
the math.
So
Mhm.
we can also like in the place of the 24, we can put like 2.4499.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Okay,
put
then it's
2499, but result we're getting 2.50.
okay.
50.
It's
It's
float.
rounding up,
4999
yeah.
is converting to 50, 2.50.
Okay.
Any question anyone have?
No.
So that's how you declare these things, and you can have the float number. You can have like positive or negative. If you put the minus sign, that's negative. If you don't put it, it can be a positive number. You can have positive and negative both floating number.
What is the value for positive and negative?
What if you like putting minus 1.79 is a negative floating number, right? If you're putting 1.79 it's positive negative, positive a floating number, right?
But what is the purpose? Like, which situation
What do
we
you mean
put
what's the
the
purpose?
negative number?
There's no situation. If you want the positive number, you can have positive number. If you want negative, you negative number, right?
Let's say the company is losing money, like they lost minus like
It's general mathematics. There is nothing like which situation in SQL you're putting. There's a general data you want to put.
so if it's a negative number, you can put
You
negative.
put negative number. If you want to have a positive income, you can put a positive one. The term saying that it can have floating can have positive and negative both number. Nothing else.
Okay.
I mean, there is no rule that when situation you will have. It's depending on what kind of data you want to use for your purpose. Clear?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, I mean, don't think the other way like in SQL, what situation you need to put that. Think as it's normal. If you want to use your positive data, you can use the positive data. If you want to use negative data, you can use the negative data. Both data can be used. And then here you can use also date and time data, right? Where you can use the date and time. Like you can specify the date and time from January 1, 1753 to December 31, 1999. And it has an accuracy of 3.3 millisecond. You can round up those numbers. So 9999 means it's like given the highest year in the system. After that, it need to be updated. And you can use the small date. You can use the date itself only. You can use the time. You can use the time, date, time offset, which is similar as the to data type, but has time zone offset. You can use the date type too. These are the date and time you can use it, right? So you can use these things as a declared data type, as a date, right? We're using this date only, data type date. You can use like date and time, data type, date and time also you can use. So you're using data type date. So date equal to you're putting what? Year, month, and
Day.
day, date or day. And then you are printing the data type. So here we're getting the year is 2030, month is 1, date is 1. So it will give you like January 1, 2030,
2030.
right? You give you like,
I have a couple of questions.
yeah.
So if somebody puts like January 35th, which is not a date, so is it already defined that it's not gonna take anything after 31st?
What was your question? January?
So like 40, which is not a date.
No, it will not take.
Okay. And what is the accuracy of milliseconds? So that's the time it takes to give the output?
This one,
Yes.
accuracy by 100 nanosecond.
Yes.
There is a timestamp. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
You just need to know the declaration of data type and what you're getting out.
Okay.
You don't need to actually remember or keep in mind what is the storage size, accuracy, range, upper range, all these things.
Okay. One more question is like in Excel, we have different format of output of the date. Like it can say like January 1st, 2023, or it can be like the year is in the front and then month in the middle and the date is on the last. So is there any way it's defined or?
Now it will define that this format you have given date, like December 31, 1989, like that. This is the format it will give you the date.
Yeah,
and
that's
time.
what I was gonna ask. What format we gonna use? Either one, like the year, day, month, and the date, or day, month, and the year. Is there any particular thing that we need to use? Format?
You can use, you will be using year, month, and date. This is the format
Yeah,
you'll
but
be
on the
using.
top it said December 31st. So can we?
Yeah, so you use it,
which
then
way?
the output you'll get it. Same thing, like whatever. This is saying like you can read it January 1, 1753. It's just showing you the range to December
Any
31,
format we
1999.
can use? That's my question. Like any format we can use?
Yeah, if you want to use a date first, month second, year last, you can use it.
Okay.
Whatever you define here, you will get the output same way.
Okay.
Because you're defining the things, right?
So I have a quick question. So over here we are defining it's 2030 slash, I mean, 0101.
Dash 0101, yeah.
Yeah. So which 01 is month and which 01 is date?
So it's year, month, and date.
Yes, but how the system's gonna know like which one I'm defining?
System
Date.
is given like year, month, date. That's how the system works here.
Okay. So what if I want the date in the
If
middle
you
and the
want to
month?
flip it, then date, month, year.
Yeah, I think like Hasib is thinking the other way. Like which way we in Bangladesh we use we use the date first, and in the middle
Yeah,
is
in
the month.
Bangladesh we use the date first,
And
and
middle is the
then
month.
we
Yeah,
the
I mean,
month. Here we use month first, date is second, and year is last.
yes, I understand that, but my question is both the month and the date is 0101, right?
Yes, if you want to put this is if it's 11 on the end instead of
But
01,
11
you will
can be
get the
date
same.
and month as
Yeah,
well, November. So
yeah.
how?
So 2030, 11, and then you can say like 28.
Okay.
Or you can say 2030, 2801.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna understand that when we are gonna do it.
Yeah, I think, whenever we create any account and they need the date of birth or something, they will put the
Yeah.
format like year, month. I think it will be exactly like that.
Okay, yeah. When we're gonna create the table, we're gonna understand it more. Yeah.
So another one is character, right? You know the character.
This is a character type.
So this character is related to character type, right? It allows the user to define the data type of character, which can be a fixed and variable length. It can be a fixed length or it can be a variable length, right? It has four kind of data types. One is character, varchar, varchar maximum, and text. So character, it can have like 8,000 character maximum. Varchar, this character is string with a variable wide. And varchar max is a character string with variable wide and it stores maximum of this much characters. And text is a character string which is a variable wide. So you can use like declare data type character and varchar 30. 30
The
is your
text is the message. Okay.
30 is your length, maximum length you're providing 30, right? So the
Length of the
character
string.
you're providing should be like 30, not more than 30. Within 30, 0 to 30, within any this range, you can provide this. And then you print that and you'll get this. This is the chapter. So this is the length here, varchar. Any question here?
No, text is the biggest one, right? Out of these, I mean, takes the most space.
Yeah, text you can have like a
2
one
GB.
paragraph,
Mhm.
like 4 lines maybe. You can provide that.
One quick question. If I say the data type is text and put 30, is gonna take the same space as varchar 30?
Yeah, if you're providing text 30, it will get 30.
And the space is gonna take is the same. Like
Yeah, but if you're providing declare data type, character and text here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
equal to you can provide one whole. If you don't put it here, then it will take maximum character.
okay, but if I put 30, it's gonna be
Yeah, if you
it's gonna
define
take
30, then you turn 30.
same space. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't define, it will make same character and then the space is going to be 2 GB.
2 GB. Okay.
So,
Yes, it's okay.
only
Yeah, it's okay.
One more quick question. If we say, I mean, define its data type as character, we can put numbers in it? No.
no, it will be character.
Okay, so okay.
Alphabet.
The varchar, it can be a character string with variable wide, like it can variable type, but you don't put the number here
Yeah. Okay.
because we're saying this character string.
As in the text, we can put numbers and character together. But the reason I'm asking, like, if I'm writing a paragraph and then say, like, in 1926, this happens. So 1926 is a
In
number.
text, you can do it, yeah.
Okay.
In text, you can put that.
Okay, but we can't do that in the character, right?
No, character, you're defining only characters.
Okay.
So character should be only alphabetic
Yes.
Yeah,
and text is alphanumeric.
yeah.
Varchar is also alphanumeric. Okay. Okay.
So then
I'll
only
go through.
character is that
I'll go through again all those things. Varchar
Okay.
again with the definition. Right now,
Okay.
just giving overview, but I'll go on the deep to make understand. We'll do the practical. Another one is unicate characteristic data type, which have a nchar, nvarchar, and text. And this enter is the Unicode string of fixed wide. It is fixed wide wise. And this is a variable. And this is also a string of variable wide. So if you're declaring data type enter, varchar 30 means like you're fixing this within 30. Right? And if you're using n varchar, you can omit this bracket with 30 because that can be variable, or you can use it wide range of characters. Same as like previous one. Here, previous one. It's saying like n number of characters.
So does it means like when we put the n in the bracket of virtual, it's gonna be like whatever the number of
Whatever number you are providing here, it will take that much.
Okay.
Others?
No, it's good.
Also, you have a binary string data type. This is a contains binary string or fixed and variable length. Right? So you can use the data type as a binary, var binary, or image. So binary, it is fixed to the binary string. And this binary string of variable wide, and this also a variable wide. So this image takes like 2 gigabyte, is take 8,000 bytes, and this is 8,000 bytes. If you're doing a declared data type binary and binary equal, binary you are putting the fixed length of 2. This is 12. Then this 12 is converted into binary format. The output will be, you will not see as a 12, but you will see output as a binary format. So, you know how to calculate binaries from
No.
the integer? Okay, you don't need to know that. Just remember that if you're using the binary 2, means there is a 2-character digit you'll be using, and that number will be converted into binary as output.
So we're gonna
don't
learn
know.
how to write the do the
No,
binary.
you don't need it. I don't want to confuse
Oh, I
with
don't
that.
need it. Okay.
Yeah, just remember that if you're declaring data as a binary, when it is fixed length, then you are fixing the length of the binary should be 2. So the number you'll be providing only 2 numbers, right? But when you process it, you will get the output as a binary. The 12 will be converted into binary format, which is 0x000C. Okay, any question there? So these are like a overview of like the data types, but we don't need all these things. We need some of them basically to know clearly, like a integer, numeric, decimal, date and time, money, float, then character, var character, text, string. Those are the things we'll need to know clearly, and I'll go over that again, okay? Clear?
Yes. Are we gonna install the SQL Server today?
No.
ভাই আমার একটা কোশ্চেন আছে এখানে আজকে লেকচারের উপরে,
Yeah.
সেটা হলো কি নর্মালি আমরা তো আপনার দুটোই এসকিউএল সার্ভারে চলে গেলেন কি, আমরা তো নর্মালি এসকিউএলটা কি এইটার ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, এটা এসকিউএল তো কতগুলো আছে, আমরা কি শুধু এসকিউএল সার্ভার এমএস এসকিউএল সার্ভার ইউজ করবো? এই জন্য আপনি এটা আমাদেরকে ইয়া করতেছেন,
ওএসকিউএল কতগুলো আছে বলতে?
মানে এসকিউএল ডিবি এসকিউএল এর অনেকগুলো আছে, আমরা তো শুধু আপনার এসকিউএল মাইক্রোসফট এসকিউএল সার্ভার,
হুম।
এটা কি নর্মালি ইউজ করে কোম্পানি?
SQL, there is a Oracle,
হ্যাঁ,
there is a Microsoft.
okay,
And this is the SQL, this TSQL is from the Microsoft.
okay,
And PLSQL is from the Oracle. So the language in the Oracle use the PLSQL is called, Microsoft is use the TSQL. Both are the same. If you know one, you can use the other one. But in
okay,
PLSQL, after the query, there is a semicolon need to use. And TSQL, you don't need to use that. And you're saying DBA. DBA is the different thing. DBA is the maintaining the server. There is a backup, restore, standby server. There are like, there's a different chapter.
okay,
That is not related to what I'm teaching. I'm teaching you how you can write the queries and fetch the data for your test environment. Normally, data is used given by that TDM team, which is called like test data management team. Not every organization have the TDM team because it costs money. So big organization, they have separate team, TDM team, who are responsible providing all the test data, production data to the teams. If you need any data, test data, you give the request to the TDM team, what kind of data you need, which environment for you need it. So they will create the data and they'll give it to you. But sometimes, even though the TDM team is there, you put the request, you will not get on time because they are too busy to providing all other data. So what are you going to do? You can use the query and get your data from the database and use that test data for your testing environment purpose. So that's why you need to know how to write the query and get the data from database.
okay,
But these are the things I am giving you. You need these things for your interview.
Also,
Oh,
if the
If we
company
ask you what is the voucher, if you don't know how you're going to answer that, you're going to say that, oh no, I can use the query.
that's true.
So the servers at DBA is a different, totally different, where you need to know how to install the things, how to maintain the things, how to restore, how to backup, how to use the recovery scenarios, how to create the users, schemas, database, all these things. But here you don't need to do all these things. You just need to know how to write the queries. And writing the queries, you need some basic informations. You need to know where you're going to use the floating point, what are the decimal point, all these things. What is the characters? Clear?
Yes.
yes,
So you're gonna send this note today in our email?
Focus in here, what I'm teaching. Whenever required, I'll send it. Focus here what I'm teaching and try
Okay.
to understand. Don't worry. Don't. So you are sitting here, you're just thinking when I'm getting the notes, all this, and I'm not right. If you're thinking like that, you're not going to focus on the lecture. That's not your job. That's my job when I'm going to send it. Right? I'm going to send it ultimately.
What
But
about
you
the
focus
video?
right now.
Can we get the video so we can?
I'll upload it there YouTube.
Yeah,
You can go and
the
there and check
video
it.
will be good.
Okay, let's go. It's almost 12 o'clock. But Jafar gonna go out now?
I was, I was
Half
gonna go.
hour.
Or you're gonna go out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go this slide. Quick.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is the SQL Server variables? This SQL Server variables are object with acts as a placeholder to a memory location, and these variables hold single data values. Variables are nothing but it holds a memories. It's also object in the memories, and it takes the spaces, right? You can have a local variable and you can have a global variable. Two type of variables you can use it. However, the user can only create a local variable, and the global variable is created by the system. So two type of variables will be there. One is local, one is global, but you cannot create the global variable. You can create only local variables. The global variables will be created by the system when you install the DBS. So you see here, you can have a user defined and you can have a system defined. User defined is a local variable and system defined is a global variable. So what is the local variable? A user declares the local variable. By default, a local variable starts with this sign, right, at the rate.
Mm.
And every local variable scope has the restriction of the current batch of or procedure within any given session. So global variable, the system maintains that global variable, a user cannot declare them, and global variable start with a double at the rate and it stores session related information. So you can see here it is a double. Whenever you see this double at the rate, that means it is a system defined variable. Whenever you see at the rate, that means it's defined by the user. How to declare the variables in SQL? Before using any variables in batch or procedure, you need to declare the variables. Like as we need to declare the data types, right? You can use the declare command to declare these variables, which will take the placeholder in the memory location, and only once the declaration is made, a variable can be used in the subsequent part of the batch procedure. So unless you declare the variables or data types, you cannot use the data types or variables in your procedure or in your query. So syntax is the declare second bracket at the rate of local underscore variables as data type equal value. This is the sequence syntax, and you close that in the second bracket. The rules is you initialize an optional things while declaring, and by default declaration is variable to null. So by default it is a null because it did not provide anything, right? Using keyword as is optional. You can use as optional. It's not a mandatory as data type. You can take it out also. To declare more than one variable, user use a comma after the first local variable definition and then define the next local. So you can use more than one variable within this thing. You can use maybe 2, 3, or 4, whatever you want. But whenever you're using that, you need to separate by the comma. So you use like local variable comma, local variable 1, maybe comma. But this as data type, this is the option. You can, if you want to use, you can use. If you don't want to use, you can don't want to use. There is a rule and normal syntax how you declare your local variable. Should stop here or you guys want to go with this?
I would like to stop, but if you guys continue, I can follow the video.
I do
Is
have
that
a
okay?
couple of questions on the previous page.
What? Yeah.
So, what is I mean, declare
As
local
data
variable.
type, what kind of data type you using with this variable? So as, what is the data type? The local variable, right? As you're gonna see it from here. What kind of
Okay.
local variable data type will you be using?
Okay.
So when I go with the example, you will
Okay,
ask
okay.
clearly.
So
Okay,
the
what is
one
that?
more quick question about syntax. If you go to the back page, please, again.
Syntax is nothing but how you're gonna declare it. This is the way you need to declare it.
So, can you give me a small example as TSQL syntax, like when it
Yeah, the
happening
syntax is given
Procedure.
there, right? Like see here on the last, assigning a value variable using select, right? The syntax is declare local variable data type and then select local variable value, right?
Mhm.
What are the query? How you declare local variable is my course ID, right?
Okay.
Then data type is my integer, right?
Mhm.
And then select the local variable is course ID equal to value is 5, right?
Okay.
This
I
is
guess.
how I've written.
Mhm.
This is how you have to read. You cannot read without this syntax. Outside of this syntax.
Okay.
So this is the way procedure of how you can define your local variable. And based on that, I have written the queries. So declare is declare where I'm declaring the local variable as a course ID.
Okay.
And then data type I'm using integer int, and then select icon local variable as a course ID equal to, I put the value as a 5, and I'm printing course ID. So when I'm printing course ID, it will output will be print course ID equal to 5, because the course ID value is the 5 I've already defined.
So we have to declare the syntax first and then we can do the query. Okay.
No, you don't need to declare this syntax. You just write the query, but based on the syntax, how it is.
Okay, there's gonna be a
Because
syntax before there. Okay.
There will be no any syntax.
Like syntax is the like instruction how to write the query.
How to write the query?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
You cannot do outside of the syntax.
Okay.
That's the
That's the
instruction.
thing.
Yeah.
Like I told you, you go from here
Mm-hmm.
to the shop by car. You cannot go by train.
Okay.
Simple it is.
Okay. Understood.
So here see on this query, example on the first, right? Declare example of declaring a variable, right? Query with as, right? Course ID as int. That is my declaration. The course ID is an integer, right?
Integer,
And then
yeah.
I'm declaring course name as a varchar 10 characters.
Okay.
So varchar there where I'm using course underscore ID, right? I'm using the special character also, the varchar. So declare course ID as a int and course name as a varchar 10.
Right.
So you can use with as or without as also.
Okay.
Then you can assign this value variable to the 3 ways, like during variable declaration using declare keyword, or you can use set, or you can use select command. The 3 ways you can declare these variables. Declare command, set command, and select command. So here we are going to go with these commands. Declare local variable as data type equal to value, and then I'm writing the query right here. After data type, we can use equal followed by the value to be assigned. So equal whatever value we are going to use it. So declare course ID, which is our local variable, right? As data type, as integer, right? As data type, we're defining what kind of data type I'm using. So instead of using separately course ID as integer and then course name as a varchar, I'm using here together what kind of data type will be. Clear? And then I'm printing the course ID, which will be showing me giving 5 course ID equal to. Any question? So this is like with declare command.
So the
Can
course
assign the
ID is
value.
the local variable and integer is the data type, correct?
Yes, as
Mhm.
data type is integer.
Okay.
Equal 5. The value is the 5.
Mhm.
So this is the way I need to write it, and that's the way I write the query. So whenever you're declaring data types, local variables, you have to declare in this format or without s, the other formats. So you can use the declare command, you can use the select command, or you can use the set command to declare your local variables.
So I can also say set course
Yeah,
ID
so
as
this is
integer.
so this is like
Okay.
declare command where you using declare course ID as integer equal 5. Again, you can use SQL set variables, right?
Yeah.
Set command.
And select command as well.
Yeah, and assigning a value to the variable using set. The example, declare local variable, data type, local variable, data type. Here we are using 2 variables. Here we used only one local variables, right? Here we are using 2 variables. So to do that, we declare local variable 1 data type and local variable 2 data type. Now we are setting the local variable 1 as a value 1. We are setting local variable 2 as a value 2, right? So what is the query I'm going to write it? That's my instruction. So I'm going to do it. Declare course ID, which is my local variable name, as integer, and course name as a varchar.
Gotcha.
Right? The first one is my local variable 1, second one is my local variable 2. Right? And set course ID equal to 5. Right? My course name, a course ID I'm setting only
5.
with 5 integer.
Mhm.
It will not more than 5 integer. And set course name as a Unix. So this is my string with quote. Whenever you use using as a quotation, that is your string variable value, data type. It will not
Set,
change anything.
yes, set course ID equal to 5 is not the integer, it's the course name, right? I mean, course number 5.
Course ID is an integer, int. Here you see
Yeah,
declare
but-
course ID
but-
as int.
Yeah, but when you
So
are
this is
declaring
course ID
set,
equal to 5
yes. Okay,
as
yeah,
the
I got it.
integer.
Mhm.
I cannot put course ID as a
Yes, correct. Yeah, got it.
because I put course ID as an integer.
Mhm.
So it should be any integer number. I can put 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever it is.
Okay.
But it should be an integer.
Mhm.
And here set course name as a varchar.
Gotcha, yes, so any character.
So any character within the string I put it. Now I print course ID and print course name.
So it's gonna print 5
It's
and
gonna print
Unix.
5 units. 5 units, right?
Mhm.
That's how my output will be. So here you're providing, yes, defining more than one variable. You can put another one set, maybe local variable 3 equal to value 3.
Mhm.
And you can define here, maybe set course description or course instructor name as ABC.
Got it.
So, Polly,
I
any
think
question
I'm
here?
getting it. No, I think I'm getting it. So why we use the print like the
Print command is to print the output, to see the output. Print is a command, and then
just
course
to
name
see, just not real printing, right? It's just to see the output.
is just to see the output in the screen.
Okay. But it's not real printing.
No.
Okay.
I'm not printing anything on the document.
Okay.
This print means I want to see the output in my
Output.
execution so that I can understand what I'm getting it, what that I'm
Okay.
getting it. And
So
set is like setting the variable to its value.
So this
And
print is a
declare
command.
is declaring a variable as a local variable.
Yeah, this is a command we use to.
So without
verify.
declaring, you cannot use those variables in your procedure. You cannot use set course ID as a 5 because if you don't declare it, you cannot do these things. So you have to declare first the variable. Then you can use that variables to your procedure with other comments. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
And also you can use with a select command. So first we saw the declare command, how to declare the very local variables. Then we saw with using set command to declare variable. Now we can see the select command to declare the variables, local variables. So here the syntax is declare local variable data type, same thing, right? Declare local variable data type. See here, declare local variable as data type. So you can use with as or without as also. If you're using with as, you have to write in this format as int. If you're using without it, you can write it course ID int. Okay? That's the only difference with as and without as. So we're doing declare course ID int, select course ID equal to 5, print course ID. It's going to show me course ID equal is 5. It's going to show me 5. Any question?
No. From me, no.
Toha?
No.
So far, no, but need to review again.
yeah.
To be again, yes. So tell me how many ways we can declare the variables.
2 ways.
Toha,
Two-way, user and syntax system.
Therefore,
Local and global variables.
Polly, Hasi, what is the question I asked?
How many way you can declare the variables, right?
Yes. So I didn't ask you guys how many types of variables are there.
How
Did I?
many way we can declare it? Yeah.
If I asked you how many types of variable, you can say two. One is a system variable, one is a local user variable. I asked you how many ways you can
How many?
declare your variables. Just 1 minute before I did give you
So is
all
the SQL Server two ways, like SQL Server and Transact Server or SQL? Transact
out of focus, you
SQL.
guys. Hasib,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. How many way we can declare it? We can declare it in three ways, right?
Yes. What are the three ways?
We can say the set, select, and declare, right?
Yes, those are the three commands you use. Declare, set, and select. What you guys are going to different ways? I just explained you can assign the variables three ways. During variable declaration, you can use declare keyword or you can use select, even set. And I went through these three commands. The example. But you guys' answer is out of focus totally. So now I'm trying to understand what you guys are not understanding, or it's like a 1 minute. I showed you and asked you the question, not is like one day. You have to also understand the question and then answer it. If I asked you how many types of variables are there, it's local variable, global variable, right?
Yeah.
I asked you how many ways you can assign the SQL variables. You can assign the values of variables three ways. Declare command, set command, select command. Okay, I'll stop here because these are all
It's getting messed up.
more focus because you guys need to understand these things here. How to use the commands. So these are the command parts. Just go through, try to understand the syntax, and then try to create an example. Like here. So here what here like the syntax is declare local variable as data type equal value. Opening is second bracket, and then you have to close with the second bracket. So as a query, if I use this syntax, same syntax, and write a query, I can write declare local variable. I can put any name, maybe student name, right? As means as what kind of data type I'm using. I can use integer, character, string, text, varchar, anything, right? Equal, if I'm using varchar here, I need to provide that value. I cannot provide 5. If I'm using string, I have to provide string value. If I'm using character, I have to provide character. And then print the name of the variable, which is will be student name. If I use here student name, it should be student name here. So right, using this syntax, write 2 commands, 2 queries for each declare, set, select. I'll check next class tomorrow. So you have the syntax here, declare. You have the syntax here for set. You have a syntax here for declare. I have the query, but I want you to write different query. I mean, not this same as it is. Using different query, using different data type, character, varchar, string, text, whatever you can do it from these characters here. Okay. So I'll upload this video. Go and check it, and I'll also try to send you that documents. Okay. To the email.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Any question?
No, thank you.
Okay, guys. Then thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow class
At 7, yeah.
7. Okay.
Allah
Okay,
Hafiz.
inshallah.
But write those queries.
Yeah, we need the video or the lecture, anything, so
Yeah,
that we
I'll
can.
upload the video and I'll also send the documents.
Okay.
If I cannot send it full, I'll send you at least the query part, how to write it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.